Hi, so as you can see from the title of this video, I've been doing the ketogenic diet for the past 21 days now, and I'm almost halfway through. Originally I was just going to do it for August, but I decided to actually extend it a little bit longer, and I'm going to do it until my fiance is back up in Leeds with me. Hopefully we're going to go out for a meal, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a really nice dessert and a really carb heavy meal. But yeah, so that will be a little bit longer than August. It'll be early to mid September. Um, but yeah, just want to do a really quick vlog because I wanted to maybe share my experience of doing the diet so far myself. And I'm gonna try and do it in kind of three parts to this video. So the first part is just going to be the kind of background and philosophy for why I decided to even try a diet. I've never done one in my life. The second part is just going to be what the ketogenic diet actually is. And then the third part is just going to be a breakdown of my experience and the effects that I've personally seen myself. So starting with the background. So I first heard about this diet from my older brother. And he did it because he was preparing for a bodybuilding competition. Now he has made an incredible transformation physically over the past 2 years, to the point where if you knew him from before then and saw him today, you would almost be like, what's happened to him? How did he do that? But we were talking as he was preparing for one of his bodybuilding competitions. The first one and only one so far that he's competed in. And he was explaining to me the importance of actually dieting as well as going to the gym, and how it's just as important as exercising and going to the gym and the like. Now I was initially quite skeptical, but results speak for themselves. So I was definitely inquisitive about it. Now the kind of aim of the ketogenic diet is to lose body fat, particularly around the abdomen kind of area and your back and your torso generally, but the kind of abdomen particularly, and your waist. Now, something that my brother also pointed out to me was that there's a kind of misconception that just because you're lean, now if you've seen me in person, you'll definitely think, well, why is he even doing a diet? He's very lean, and very kind of slim in a way. But that there is a misconception that being slim and being lean doesn't means that you don't have a lot of body fat, or you don't have body fat, or you definitely have a healthy amount. But particularly amongst men, there's internal body fat that it's not visible all the time, and there is, generally speaking, external body fat which you could lose and be healthier for doing so. Another thing that my fiance pointed out to me even just a couple of days ago was that studies demonstrate that having a lower body fat actually can help kind of reduce the risk of you contracting certain cancers. So there's certainly health benefits to losing body fat, and this diet is really aimed at doing that. And I think a final thing just to get with the kind of background and philosophy behind doing this diet is that as a Christian, there's kind of a general principle in the Bible about stewardship. So we're called to steward our money well, we're called to steward this planet well. That's to look after the plants and the trees and also the animals and livestock that God has created. But we're also called to steward our own bodies well. We're called to live healthy and make sure we don't live, gluttonous lives, but to eat in moderation and to look after the bodies that we've been given. So that was just kind of some of the background and philosophy for why I tried out this diet. I wanted to see what effect it could have, whether I could lose some body fat, and how I'd feel kind of doing so. Now, what is the ketogenic diet? We're into the second part now. And to put it simply, it's a low to no carbohydrate diet. So carbohydrates also include sugar, just in case you didn't categorize sugar in that same way. So that's, cutting out your standard things like potatoes, pasta, spaghetti, but also bread, and then sweets, chocolate, anything with sugar in it. Um, Now I don't drink, so I've not had to give up alcohol, but that generally would also include giving up alcohol, and certain other drinks. It's also included giving up milk, um, and just various amounts of different food that either is a carbohydrate or is a sugar. But something that makes this diet different to other kind of low or no carb diets is that you can still have vegetables, and most vegetables do have some carbohydrates in them. It's a very small amount when you look at it in the grand scheme of its kind of weight. But because of the dietary fiber in it, it also kind of helps counteract towards the kind of amount of carbohydrates that are in it. And there's also some really good nutrients such as potassium and other things that these carbohydrates have, which is really good for your body to have in terms of losing fat. So what can I eat? So literally just meat, vegetables, and cheese. Some nuts, not all nuts. So peanuts are kind of okay. Peanut butter is okay, but cashews aren't. They're really high in carbohydrates. And some seeds are really good as well. Although I haven't bought any seeds just yet, but I have seen they are good. But some kind of fruits. So lemon in water is really good. And also avocado, pears, which are kind of a fruit, are also really good. But it means no fruits actually because of the fructose which they have, which is a sugar. So I've also mixed this diet with what's called intermittent fasting. So initially I went down to just 3 meals a day. So that was breakfast, lunch, dinner, no snacking in between. And that was great. I mean, for breakfast I was having bacon and eggs, which I enjoyed. And even some chilies with it, a little bit of cheese, just to kind of keep me full until lunch. For lunch it was just a salad, a chicken salad or a tuna salad. And then for dinner, all sorts of it. A really good part of actually doing this diet is I've made some food which I've never made before. So for example, I made stuffed mushrooms just the other week and stuffed peppers as well, which were tasty. I'm also having more meat than I used to have, so that's good. I'm getting a really good amount of protein and fat. And you actually want to go for meat that has a high fat content, as that helps to keep you full for longer and suppresses your hunger, and therefore you don't necessarily get hungry. But then after 14 days, so 2 weeks in, I went from the 3 meals a day to 2 meals. So I've skipped out breakfast and just have lunch and dinner. And what's the kind of ratio you want in that phase is 16 to 8. So you want 16 hours of literally fasting. So you can still have water, still have liquids, but not all liquids. You have 16 hours of no food, so that would be from when I have dinner, so sleeping all through breakfast until lunchtime, and then you have food in a kind of 8-hour window, and you would keep to just 2 distinct meals. So I've kind of been doing that. Like I said at the top, I've been doing this for now 21 days, and finally I just want to go into my experience of it myself. Now I do like numbers, so I'm going to start there. When I started this diet, I weighed 73 kg, and according to the kind of science of BMI, I was technically overweight, which if you're watching this and you're someone who knows me, you'd be quite shocked to hear that. But yep, I was technically in the overweight band due to my height. About 5 days in, I lost almost 2 kilograms. And that was purely from kind of water weight. And that's something I've learned, that carbohydrates hold a lot of water content. So cutting that out, I lost almost 2 kilograms just from water weight. And I've just weighed myself today. So that's 21 days in. And I'm now 68.5 kilograms. So that means in the space of 21 days, I've lost 4.5 kilograms, which is quite a bit considering in terms of my lifestyle, nothing much has really changed. I mean, I used to go to the gym 1 to 3 times a week, and now I'm going 2 to 4 times a week. I still walk to work like I used to. Although there are odd days where I've done a lot of walking, such as yesterday. I, according to my Google Maps, walked for about 12 miles, which is interesting. Didn't feel that long, but it makes sense. But yeah, besides kind of just physical activity, that hasn't changed too much. It's just simply been from this diet. I've seen a lot of fat loss on my abdomen. My abs are a lot more defined than they used to be, which is, you know, great. I'm in a much better shape than I used to be. Some people do this diet and they feel kind of foggy in their mind or disorientated or find it hard to actually focus. But I've not had any of those issues. My energy levels have been okay. I'm actually someone who doesn't drink tea or coffee, so I have quite a low caffeine diet. I guess it would only be on a day where I have maybe green tea, which isn't every day. I mix up my fruit tea with fruit tea or green tea. It's I've not really had any days of really feeling low energy wise. The only maybe difficulty sometimes is the walk home. My legs can feel a lot more tired, than they used to be, and I guess that's maybe just only natural considering it's about a 45-minute walk to and from work, and the way back is a lot more uphill than on the way to work. Some things to note though, the first 3 days I was doing the diet a bit wrong. I was eating fruit still, and it wasn't until a colleague of mine actually pointed it out to me that I realised, whoops, I need to cut those out. But at that stage I'd already seen some change. Like I said, in the first week I lost almost 2 kilograms of just body fat. So I don't think I have much more to say. I'm halfway in. I just want to continue on and see what the results are going to be like. And I maybe just want to encourage some of you to try out this diet just for a week. If you're someone like me who's an office worker, not too active, you go to the gym just occasionally, certainly give this diet a try. If you are someone who lives a really active lifestyle, you know, you're running a lot, you're, I don't know, dancing or something, then maybe this diet wouldn't be for you, because you will need carbohydrates for energy. But if you live a kind of low energy output life, it's just certainly a diet to try out, and you know, give it a week, see the effects that you see in a week, or you know, give it 21 days like I have myself, and see what it's like. I will certainly do a kind of, I guess, update video at the end. So it should be about 40 days of doing so. And yeah, I'll let people know again what my thoughts have been like. I probably just will cut to the end and do the third part instead of the first and second. But if you have any questions, please, you know, throw them in the comment section. I'll probably put this on Facebook, so yeah, feel free to comment there. Like this video as well, and let me know if you want to actually see maybe a more regular update. If you want one every week, you know, maybe it could be a regular Monday thing that I do, or I'll just simply, like I said, do one at the end. Anyway, this has gone on for long enough. Thank you for watching, and yeah, keep eating healthy, living healthy, and exercising. And no, it's good. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. So yeah, peace out.